So everybody's talking about Forrester today, and they still talking about whether or not if Forrester's is gonna come back to No Jumper or not. Man, we about to get into this content real quick. I ain't gonna hold y'all. We ain't gonna do no long intro. I ain't about to do like a whole bunch of videos of other people talking. I'm gonna just lay it out like this. So at the end of the day, I was just watching Whack 100's video, and Whack 100 was saying possibly, maybe that Forresters really didn't want to come back to No Jumper because Adam had people on there, one of them being King Pill on there, and they was making comments about Forrester or whatever, and then I think Munchie B or whatever. And so on the flip side of that, I can actually see Forrester's feeling some type of way because he had those individuals on the platform and they was talking about him and running content on him. And this is just the type of person that Adam is. Adam is going to allow people to come on there and run content who Forrester's may not be cool with, or who he may, take issue with them talking about his situation with the firework incident or whatever. And what Forrester's got to understand is that Adam is content driven. And what I mean by that is Adam is looking for somebody to come on his platform and actually speak about Forrester's in a way where Forrester may not agree with what they're saying, but at the same time, Adam wants that to happen so Forrester can come back on the platform himself and then counter what they were saying. It creates content. So them is two videos. That creates clips and everything else. It's money. It's in Adam's best interest to allow people to come on there and talk about people, even if these are people who he allows on his platform. And for some reason, I don't think that Forrester understands that part of content creation. And even if he does, at this point, he wants to be removed, or he doesn't want to deal with Adam22 no more. Now, I'm going to say this. I believe that Forrester was already feeling some type of way with the 607 UNC content because people turned against Forrester. He wasn't like the fan favorite, or I don't even want to say the fan favorite. He wasn't like the person who everybody was wanting to see as they once was on a platform. So with that being said, I think he was already feeling some type of way in that situation because Adam is the main person who came out and said that people wasn't feeling Forrester in the way that they used to. And then we had the fireworks incident. Now, Adam ran up a bunch of content on Forrester with the 607 UNC thing. Adam did a whole bunch of clips prior to releasing the full podcast with 607 UNC and Forrester. Now, if we go back and we look at them views, some of those videos did the most views that No Jumper had done in months. You feel what I'm saying? That was one of the best weeks No Jumper had in a long time. And with that being said, we had the situation with Forrester actually, having a firework incident. We really don't know still what's going on with his hand. From the looks of things, he's missing at least 2 fingers. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, he put the post up. Now, Adam is on record saying that he reached out to Lupe after he put the $1,000 on the GoFundMe or whatever he was, the money he was raising for his medical expenses, and they turned down the invitation to him coming. Adam goes back and he gets on No Jumper, and he's kind of feeling some type of way because he sees a picture of him and Kevin Gates. Now, Adam is big in the content space. Adam is big in, what we do on YouTube or whatnot. But he's not bigger than Kevin Gates, though. So when he talks about, he's feeling some type of way because he wasn't allowed to come, but Kevin Gates come, he got a personal relationship with you, Adam. Okay, nah, I really ain't trying to see nobody right now. But why would Adam think that, even though I done told Adam I ain't trying to see nobody right now, that if Kevin Gates asked to come see me at the hospital, I'm going to tell Kevin Gates no. That's a whole different scenario situation. Kevin Gates' star power, Kevin Gates is a bigger person in Forrester's mind than Adam22. I sit down and talk to you all the time. I don't sit down and talk to Kevin Gates all the time. Plus, this is somebody that's in the industry. You see what I'm saying? So, Adam feeling some type of way because Kevin Gates is allowed to come was kind of crazy. And he talked about this on No Jumper. Now, trust and believe, people around Forrester, and even Forrester probably himself, was actually watching and listening to everything that was going on while he was in the hospital. And it was a couple like podcasts that Adam did where Forrester was the topic of discussion. And me, myself, it did come off kind of insensitive to a situation. It was questions about, like, you know, where does he go from now? Because catching phase and the fight thing was like, basically people tried to make it like that was all he was about. That's what made him viral on the internet, was just talking about fighting, which I'm not saying that it didn't, but I'm saying these were things that Adam was saying. So at this point, Adam is trying to call Forrester, and his text message is turning green. On top of that, Adam got blamed, and people thought that Lupe was the one that talked to Adam, for Adam coming out and actually putting out like what he considered to be what was going on with Forrester's health situation. The no fingers, I couldn't see for a couple hours and all that. We would have never known that if Adam put it out. So at the end of the day, Forrester is probably looking at it like, you're supposed to be my homie, because he used to be like, he called him Adams with an S. You know, that was, he felt like Adam was his boy. So he probably took some of that shit personal, that he was putting his business out there to the internet and using him as content when we're supposed to be boys. Now, I don't fault Adam for being Adam, because we know how he get down. We've been seeing this before, and really, Adam is all about views. He all about making money. He all about the monetization of every single thing. And on top of that, Adam is not going to take accountability when he's wrong in any situation, just like he didn't take accountability for instigating and stirring the pot in that King Pill and Young and Hefe situation. But nevertheless, that's a whole different conversation. But at the end of the day, he's never going to be held himself accountable and say that he was wrong for saying some of the things that he said about Forrester that Forrester might have took personal. Now, Wack is getting involved in this, and Wack is saying, you know, basically that Forrester is, you know, basically I feel like Wack is saying Forrester is wrong for taking it how he took it, and that Adam's platform and a platform where he's not necessarily going to say like, you know, that's my boy, we ain't gonna talk about that right now. But at some point, you do got to kind of draw the line and like, all right, it was a situation with Almighty Suspect and Brandon, and it was brought up while in a conversation while Almighty Suspect wasn't around, and they stopped people from talking about that. So it's I wouldn't say selective politicking, but Adam is picking and choosing on his own what he feels like is content and what he feels like is not. And if he had that level of respect for Almighty Suspect, then why didn't he have that same level of respect for Forrester, especially knowing that this man possibly could have lost his hand, knowing that this man possibly could have been blind, and you still was running content on that. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all watching this, if y'all was in that situation, let's take out all the crazy shit Forrester's and done to people, and let's take away the karma conversation and all of that, and let's just deal with what we're talking about. If you was Forrester and Adam was running content on you, and you in the hospital, you done lost 2-3 fingers, I think it's 2, you know, he running content on you, talking about you was blind for a few hours, you may not be able to see. It's going to be interesting to see what type of content he's going to be able to run now, because now he can't talk about phase. He probably won't be able to fight. These are all the things that was being said on No Jumper. And not only was it talked about from Munchie B and other people, but these were conversations that these were things that Adam was saying too. You would feel some type of way, excuse me, you would feel some type of way if it was you as well. But get in the comment section, man. I just want to bring y'all some content. I'm trying to stay consistent, trying to drop every day. Y'all already know what it is, man. Ruler Gang.